Hello everybody, we are talking about the big trade that just went down with the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. Now before we start, I wanted to say if you heard any weird noises, this guy wouldn't be quiet, so he is going to be sitting in my lap, hopefully still while I do this video. Now let's talk about the trade. So the Boston Bruins have traded for Dmitry Orlov, defenseman, and Garnet Hathaway, and this is big because the return for Washington is Craig Smith, 2023 first round pick, 2025 second round pick, and then a 2024 third round pick. From what I can tell, too, also Minnesota will be receiving a fifth round pick by retaining 25% of Orlov's salary. What exactly does this mean for the Bruins and the Capitals? For the Wild, I don't think it's as big of a deal, but we'll talk about these two teams. The big thing is, you better stay there. The big thing here is for Boston. I just made a video yesterday about how they might want to make a trade for anybody. I didn't say it had to be a big move. It didn't even have to break the bank, but just to try to improve their odds of winning a Stanley Cup. I said in yesterday's video, while they have some impressive prospects and the AHL club looks good, they are a team that has had really good teams in the past and not been able to get the job done when it matters most, which is the Stanley Cup playoffs. So for them, what are they getting here, and is it worth giving it up? They are getting Dmitry Orlov, who is, I believe, 31 years old, a guy that's played a lot of top 4 minutes for the Washington Capitals, and honestly one of the more underrated defensemen in the league. He's a player that I think I just read had something like top 15 even strength points for defensemen in the past few years, and is a guy that has really good underlying metrics, doesn't allow a lot of zone entries, which is always good, especially for a team like Boston, and then is pretty good offensively, underrated numbers. You look at the stats and you say, his point total, stuff like that isn't massive, but trust me, this is a guy that if he plays top 4 minutes, which he should for them, looks good. I know it says that he shoots left, and you have a pretty stacked side there with Grzelcyk, Lindholm, and Orlov now, but he will play in a top 4 role for them. I'd be really shocked if he wasn't getting top 4 minutes. Maybe they divvy up the minutes. I'm not exactly sure how that'll go, but they didn't trade for him and give up all this just so he could be a third pairing defenseman for them. They're also getting Garnet Hathaway, which may not seem like the biggest deal looking at this, but he is a guy that could bolster their bottom 6 for them, a guy that has played third, fourth line minutes in his career and has been pretty good for that role. Again, you look at this guy too, and you look at the simple stats, and you say that's not crazy impressive, but he is a guy that for any club looking to bolster their bottom depth for their bottom 6, this is good. So you're looking at Boston getting a top 4 defenseman and then a bottom 6 player that is a really good player, and he is now joining the best team in the week. As for the Bruins, they gave up Craig Smith, not as big of a deal. He looked to be a very good addition for them at the time, coming over from the Nashville Predators. And to varying degrees, it's kind of worked out, kind of not there for him. He didn't play a lot of minutes in Nashville, or at least I don't remember him playing a lot of minutes, but he did pretty well with the minutes he had, so that was kind of the hope for him going to Boston. He would help out this team in a middle 6 role, and I don't think he's been able to do what they've wanted him to do, and has struggled a little bit this year, especially. They're giving up him, not a big deal, which is partially why they're giving up that first round pick, because cap had to be moved around. I assume Smith's deal doesn't break the bank here, but they had to move around some cap, and they are now giving up a first-round pick in exchange again for Orlov. That's kind of the biggest piece of this, I would say, and then are giving up some other early-ish round picks in the coming years. Who wins this trade? Tough to say, because I really do wonder where Washington's head is after this deal. They had been a team regularly making the postseason, and now they are a club that's reeling with, I think, 5 straight losses in a row, kind of slipping in the wild card picture. So for them, maybe they are looking at this as well as their recent playoff failures, not being able to get out of the first round, and saying, yes, we could move out guys like Orlov and get some picks for the future. So for them, maybe they're looking to flip guys and try to do a rebuild. Doesn't make sense since they signed Ovi to an extension. He said he didn't want to be part of a rebuild, so I guess we'll see there. As for Boston, I really don't think this is bad at all. I said that they didn't have to break the bank, that this team just, maybe could use a little bit of a bolster before the playoffs, just so that way, in case anything went wrong, you could at least say, well, we gave it our best shot. We tried to make some more moves to become even better. In doing so, again, I think that this club looks even better and even more poised to be that favorite to win the Stanley Cup. Will they win the Stanley Cup? There's no guarantee, but with Orlov and Hathaway, they are in a great spot to contend with the teams out east. Not as big of a trade as the Tarasenko or O'Reilly trade, but still, Boston very good, just got better. The rich get richer, as they say. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down below. My apologies if you hear any weird noises. Again, the dog had to be with me because he wouldn't be quiet. But if you enjoyed this video, please like it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you go love Alki, alright? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.